Coming up, I'll be making a start on this fogger, but this fogger's a Messerschmitt. Hello and welcome back. The plan of attack for this video is just to kind of let the video run out. It's pretty straightforward, gluing and sticking things. If I hit any sort of roadblocks, any sort of faults with the kit, I'll mention it, but I can't envisage that. For fuck! Stay calm, stay calm. E11. E11, E11. Part E11 on the sprue, E11 in the instructions. It's not the same. What the shit? What the hell? It's page 1, step 1, and I think it's like third part of step 1, so it's like right at the start of the kit. There's another part, which is D85, which is also wrong. Now luckily, D85 is right next door to D84, so that's not a drama. But E11, I can't remember what sprue it's on, but it's on a completely different sprue. What the shit? What the hell? Page 1. I can only hope that the kit's going to get better from here, because otherwise this is definitely going to be a Fokker and not a Messerschmitt. I first covered the exhausts in the track wash, and then whilst the track wash was still wet, I dabbed in and blended in some of the medium rust from AK. Okay, so I finished off the engine with some engine grease by Abteilung Oils. I think it's Abteilung 160. I didn't actually get that because everything was out of focus because I didn't have my camera set properly. So the next couple of bits where I'm making the cockpit, they're a little bit iffy. Apologies for that, but you'll hopefully get the gist. If you watched my earlier kit review video, you'll have seen I get a bit wound up by the fact that there isn't any sort of decals or anything in, but they've gone at the time of making these lovely dials and moulded details. So I got my hands on some 3D decal sheets, and I'm going to basically use them. So I started by sanding everything off. So all that lovely detail that Border have gone to the pleasure or trouble rather of making, it's got to go. This part in particular proved a bit of a pain in the backside. Basically, the end of it, the longer thin rod, I don't know what it would necessarily be called, didn't have any means of locking into the other part, so it just kept popping off, and you had to put quite a bit of glue on. And the plastic's a bit weird in this kit. It doesn't really set like the Tamiya and things like that. It just feels a bit cheap. So in the end I had to put an absolute ton of glue on just to keep it stuck, and then later on it popped open and I had to just nuke it with super glue just so it would stay put with all the engine in there because it just kept popping open and it was a bit of a nightmare, so be wary of that. And then it was just a case of priming everything in the interior black, one of my favourite go-to primer colours. I used the AK, micro filler and primer. My normal go-to is Mr. Hobby or Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. It's absolutely just the dog's bollocks, but I can't find it for love nor money at the minute. I coated the whole thing in VMS satin just to give it a nice hard coat and protect the paintwork underneath, and then I gave it a couple of coats of Vallejo chipping medium. I added a couple of drops of deck tan to the mix to get a bit of a mottling and pre-post shade type of effect on it as I went through, and then just gradually got lighter, adding a couple of more drops each time until I was happy with the result. Then when the paint's nice and dry, probably a couple of hours, I take some clean tap water and just apply it all over the areas that I want to start to chip away, and gently but also firmly. It's a weird thing, you can't scrub at it like you're cleaning a floor, but be quite firm. Just keep scrubbing away until it starts to flake off the top layer of paint. It'll take a little while, do be patient. This hasn't worked quite as well as I wanted some finer scratches, but by the time you get the belts and the decals and everything in there and close the cockpit up, it should look alright. Then I applied the 3D decals. You start the process basically as you would with any other normal decal sheet. Cut them out, soak them in water for a couple of seconds. But this is where they're different. They don't have any sort of adhesive to them, so you don't use a microsol or microset. You apply a thin layer of either PVA, in this instance I'm using Mod Podge. You can use super glue if you're feeling brave. Apply them, move them about, you've got a little bit of working time, and then once they're dry, they look absolutely fantastic. I finished off the cockpit by just gluing the seatbelts in, very much the same way as I did with the dials and everything like that, and then it was just a case of starting to close it up. So yeah, that's it done, for now anyway. Apologies for the state of the video. Basically, I had an issue with the camera. It just would not keep focus, autofocus. I just kept just not locking on, doing anything, and I didn't realise, because I was obviously in the heat of the moment building it, until I've came to realise, when I've come to edit, and I've realised it's dog shit. It's a kit of two halves, basically. To look at it, once you've finished each part, it looks amazing. It looks really good, really detailed, all the rivet lines and stuff, and I'm really looking forward to getting through it. But issues with the instructions, parts are mislabeled, parts are all over the place. You can't really work out sometimes what part's meant to be what, and that is when I've looked further down the instructions as well, not just for the cockpit area. 3D decals are great. I'm not going into details to where I got them from, because I'm boycotting that country like so many people are at the moment. Don't want to get political, leaving it there. But you can get them from plenty of other countries online. Plenty of other companies online. Edward, yada yada yada. So just look up Google 3D decals, you'll be laughing. The plastic's not the best by any stretch. Really weird. Just really brittled and soft at the same time. It's weird. It's not Edward. Well, Edward's still not great in my opinion on the fine details, but Tamiya, for example, Tamiya Airfix do really good plastic. But all in all, it's a good kit. The thing that's making me want to finish, I would have binned a lot of kits off with kind of the issues I've had, if it weren't for a great detail and what I'm hoping it's going to look like when it's finished. Got the cowlings on there, so the next video will be basically putting the wings and things together, getting them glued on, hopefully maybe masking the cockpit, and then we can get out the fun stuff, which is painting. So if you like what you've seen in this video or any other videos on my channel, don't forget to stick a like, help me out and fight those dastardly YouTube algorithms, and subscribe for future updates and future content. Otherwise, I hope this has helped at least one person out there, and I hope to catch you again on the next video, which will probably be part 2 of this. But God knows when that'll happen at my rate of production. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.